Finally, the last episode of House of the Dragon Season 2 has aired. Each character's storyline was left at its peak, and while it didn't satisfy many fans, we saw some interesting scenes with the White Walkers and Daenerys Targaryen. Let's dive deeper into this episode together. We start with Daemon and his intriguing vision, which I think was the most beautiful scene of this episode, connecting us back to Game of Thrones. The most exciting scene was when Daemon interacted with the weirwood tree. Before going further, we need to understand why Daemon had multiple visions when he touched the tree. In short, weirwood trees are magical trees created by children of the forest and later known as the Old Gods. In the past, men began cutting down these trees to reduce the power and influence of the children of the forest. The children had no choice but to create the White Walkers to protect these trees and their own lives. Eventually, men and the children of the forest made peace, but the consequence of the conflict, the White Walkers did not disappear and grew larger and more formidable over time. With these trees, one could travel through the past, present, and future. Without them, Bran would never have discovered Jon Snow's true parentage. Alright, in one of the visions, Daemon saw this person. But who is this guy? He is Brynden Rivers, the first three-eyed raven, who we also saw in Game of Thrones. A Targaryen who chose being in Night's Watch over death. He was exiled to the Wall, became the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, and eventually disappeared on a mission, later becoming the Three-Eyed Raven. In the next scene, we saw the White Walkers. I wish they had increased the budget a bit to make the White Walkers look better. Here, he looks more like a man in a mask. They could have been made more professionally. Anyway, there is a theory that Daemon sees his own death and eventually becomes a White Walker. He sees a comet which in prophecies is said to signify the prince who was promised or Aegon's dream. Then in this scene, he sees Daenerys Targaryen and concludes that she is the promised prince. Alicent's repeated insistence in Season 2 that you are just a pawn on the board, seeing Rhaenyra on Iron Throne, and the dreams of her brother Viserys ultimately lead him to believe that the Seven Kingdoms must unite to resist the White Walkers. Therefore, he changes his stance and addresses Rhaenyra as the Queen of the Seven Kingdoms, kneeling before her. And in this scene, Daemon walked through the battlefield, and we see about 4 dragons that have been killed. The other dragons are not identified, but it seems this dragon is Sea Smoke. Aemon, whose position of power has been severely weakened, wants Laena to join him in attacking Daemon at Harrenhal, but Laena refuses. With her powers, she can see and predict some events, which is portrayed much more prominently than in the books. Laena rejects Aemon's request because she holds him responsible for Aegon's current condition. Laena says Aegon is currently sitting on a wooden throne and will later become the king of the Seven Kingdoms. By wooden throne, she either means the bed Aegon rests in or the wooden carriage he is escaping with. An interesting thing Laena says to Aemon is that he will drown in God's Eye, so it's possible that Aemon will be killed in the battle with Daemon. However, we can't fully rely on Helena's prophecies because if she could see the future, why couldn't she prevent her own child's death? And Alicent, in my opinion, was incredibly well developed in this season, especially in the final episodes, filled with symbols of freedom, liberation, and regret. Alicent, realizing how dangerous Aemon is, meets with Rhaenyra to prevent the deaths of her other children, Helaena, Aegon, and Daeron. But Rhaenyra's response is that it's too late. Alicent's strange plan is that when Aemon goes to Riverlands, Helaena will allow Rhaenyra to enter and take the throne to prevent bloodshed. After several months of reconstruction, Corlys's ship is finally ready, posing a serious threat to Aemon. In this scene, new dragon riders are mentioned. Corlys tells Rhaenyra that Adam is trustworthy. However, these two half-Targaryens can also play a very important role. Hugh Hammer lost his daughter due to Rhaenyra's order to blockade the sea road that caused the lack of proper medicine and food. This could even lead to Hugh betraying Rhaenyra. Rhaena also seems to be taking control of the dragon Sheep Stealer in Season 3. This dragon is truly wild and dangerous. It's slightly larger than Sea Smoke, and if Rhaena succeeds, Rhaenyra will have 8 dragons, significantly lowering the chances of victory for the Greens. In the final scene, we saw the characters preparing for war. Overall, the last episode of Season 2 was somewhat of a trailer for Season 3. In fact, these 2 seasons were more about character development and preparing the audience for the upcoming seasons, much like the first 3 seasons of Game of Thrones. In Season 3, we will likely witness many incredible battles. We probably have 3 full-scale wars, with just one of these battles costing nearly $30 million. Many fans believe this season was really bad and nothing significant happened. But did nothing really happen? New dragons entered the game. Meleys and Rhaenys were killed. There was one assassination and one assassination attempt. New mysterious bastard characters appeared. Aegon was burned and Sunfire seemingly perished. The common folk rioted in King's Landing. The largest armies of the 7 kingdoms are on the move for battle. Saying nothing significant happened doesn't seem logical to me. Alright, thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.